seems to be looking after you.
He has been our butler for decades. He is something like the decent soul of this house. He sees it as his highest duty to do all he can for my well-being. Also, even if he neglects his own welfare.
Is he ill?
Yes, I fear he is. We've often suggested that he sit with us and enjoy some peace and quiet for a while, but he always strictly denies that he can no longer fulfill his obligations. We've recently taken on domestic help to at least help him out a little.
Yes, Lewis, that really seems to be working out, doesn't it? So, about that picture I showed you of Angelina.
You seem to be extremely keen to see the picture of the dead woman, and Bates had a noticeable reaction when I showed him the picture. You are sure that you don't know this young lady?
Quite sure. Only we are concerned. The murder took place quite close to here.
Not the first.
Sadly, you're quite right. It's now. It's 12 years ago, you understand? So many years. And now there's another murder.
Tell me about the series of murders 12 years ago.
No. It doesn't have a thing to do with this crime.
Leave all that alone. Please confine yourself to this murder case. This is quite bad enough already.
Oh, fuck off. You're hiding something. You probably know a lot more than you're letting on, so I'm not buying any of it. None.
May I look around the castle? I'd very much like to talk to Lewis one more time.
Of course. We have nothing to hide. Stay as long as you like. Only please keep away from the private rooms.
That goes without saying, ma'am.
Yeah, right it does. Alright, let's see. Find the first piece of the mosaic. Yeah, alright. The bird has that. Find the second piece. The only clue to the whereabouts of the second piece of the mosaic are these names that Angelina wrote down. But who are these people? Talk to the residents. I ought to take full advantage of my relative freedom here as policeman and question the residents of the castle. At least one of them is in the order. I just can't ask about my mother. That would blow my cover immediately. But maybe that's exactly what we somehow have to do, in a way that, you know, we won't be caught or anything. But let's talk to them individually first. Might as well get that out of the way.
You've only been living here a few years, Lady Eleanor?
That's right. I didn't want to live alone in a big house after my husband died.
So you moved in with your relatives in Willow Creek and brought Lewis with you?
Lewis was our gardener in Wales. He is sometimes a bit difficult, but I didn't have the heart to lay him off. I offered him to come with me and look after the garden here.
Which he doesn't seem to do.
Well, he didn't cope very well with having to leave his garden and his home in Wales.
Can't really blame him though. I mean, you don't know how long he's, you know, been working on that garden, so you must have probably really liked it by then. And, yeah, having to leave your home, live somewhere else out of your own will has to be a bummer as well, so... Oh, let's ask about the castle first.
Tell me about your estate in Wales.
It's a lovely castle. Not as big or old as this one. I haven't been back since we left. I'm afraid it's probably in a terrible condition. And the marsh has probably spread even further. It's terrible. I couldn't stomach seeing our home like that. We had many happy years there.
When did your husband die?
A few years ago, Sir Richard, my husband, was a scientist. He did his experiments in a summer house. I used to joke that he would blow himself up one day. I didn't really believe that that's exactly what would happen.
Huh. I'm willing to bet that I was imprisoned in Lady Eleanor's castle. It all fits together perfectly. And the phone call would suggest that it wasn't chosen at random. Did she make her old estate available for the Order to use?
So let's continue along that train of thought.
What kind of research was Sir Richard doing?
He had very diverse interests. After the tragedy 12 years ago, he was mainly concerned with, well, with blood.
With blood?
He was convinced that the Gordons' blood must somehow be different from that of other people. I think he was looking for a scientific explanation for all of the misery that has accompanied the family for hundreds of years.
A curse in a test tube.
Insanity is hereditary, as you may know. Why not misfortune?
Or the misfortune is only the result of the hallucinations. That explains what Angelina was looking for in Wales. She was hoping that Richard had found out something interesting before he died.
Maybe. But, I don't know. We'll figure out in the end, I guess.
Lewis is here of his own free will. I don't understand why he doesn't give this new life a go.
You are young, Mr. Falk. You don't know what it's like having to leave your home behind you. Lewis's roots are in Wales. A tree withers without roots.
Why doesn't he go back then?
I've suggested it to him. I promised him a small amount of money to start him off. First, I thought he would do it. But then he stayed after all.
Strange.
He's a complicated man. He's been working for me for over 20 years, but I still don't have the feeling that I actually know him. I think he blames me for his unhappiness. He only ever speaks to me if it can't be avoided, and I can see that hate in his eyes.
I'm going to have another look around. Goodbye, Lady Eleanor.
It's nice to see another face in this house.
Alrighty, so she's really pointing at Lewis then. But I don't know, it seems too obvious. But clearly he knows something, so I also know his knitting basket, so let's look.
A basket of knitting gear. Wool, scissors, and that kind of thing.
Great, we can pick that up.
May I borrow a piece of thread, Lady Eleanor?
Some thread?
Yes, please. About 2 yards?
Certainly. Help yourself.
Thanks.
Okay, that's a really random thing
Good.
to ask.
Thread is always useful. I took some of the tear-proof stuff.
Yeah, that's quite random. Right, let's talk to Victoria then.
No, not now.
Okay then. I guess we're saving Lady Victoria for last, considering, yeah, she really doesn't like us, does she? She knows, I don't know, she knows she knows a lot more. But yeah, what the hell is going on with the mirror there? Something else ghost. Pretty sure that was it, right? But, I don't know.
Huh. The plant hasn't been here long. Considering the amount of light it gets, it's not gonna last long either. I'd say something like a knight or a nobleman. And judging by his clothing, he must have been around 100 years ago. He seems somehow familiar. Probably an ancestor of the Gordons.
Seems familiar indeed. That picture was at one of the shrines, right? Near near the mine. So that was the guy. I totally forgot his name and stuff, but
No. I don't want to look in there again.
alright. I can actually kind of understand that.
Why are there only candles burning here?
Whole stairs outside. Huh. Knitting basket from here as well. Interesting. And there's a door there and a door there. Bloody hell, there's a lot.
A huge metal globe. A monstrous thing.
Wait. Move into globe. I bet that's a puzzle. Has to be. Alright, let's look at the stone slab, I guess.
There's some letters engraved in the stone plate on the globe's pedestal. There are names. A whole series of them. Wait a minute. The first name is Maximilian Mortimer Gordon. That's the name from Angelina's notes. Does that mean...
These are all the names of people who died, or...?
Huh. I can't hear anything. But the stone slab could be the lid of a secret compartment in the globe's pedestal. And it would be an ideal hiding place for a piece of mosaic.
So it would. Alright, that's cool. Can we look at it again?
I'm certain there's a secret compartment hidden behind the stone.
Yeah, how can you get to it? Indeed. Ooh, barrier.
There's an ornate fence or some kind of barrier around the globe. No idea what that's for.
Indeed. It's so low, it serves no purpose, right?
There's an ornate fence with...
No, alright. Let's go out. Or step away from the globe. Well, let's examine everything first before we start wandering around. Let's look at the other painting.
Jeez. Now that's a friendly-looking face. That's how I imagine a bloodthirsty Russian Tsar would look like. Wild eyes, evil glare, and expensive clothes. I'm quite sure that he didn't earn the bling on his fingers and round his neck through hard work.
No, probably not.
A small fire for such an impressive fireplace. The old ladies here seem to be a lot tougher than back in the States. Over there it'd be at least 82 degrees in every room. I'll have time to stare into the flames and be all melancholy when this is over.
Okay then. Yeah. Good that you don't do that and make us sit through that. Right. What I was thinking of, like, when I was in England, every house would be absolutely hot. At least compared to over here. I don't know, it's like 5 degrees warmer or something, that's Celsius. But, yeah, I don't know, I always find that kind of weird. It would even get to the point where, just because of, you know, heating, because it was winter, yeah, just because of the heating, I just start sweating because it was just that damn hot. And that's not normal. That's really not normal. Not to me, but, yeah, I don't know. I find it kind of funny that they're kind of going with, yeah, English folk like to keep it kind of cool inside their house, but I guess with such a big manor or castle, heating would be kind of difficult, especially at a fireplace. Like, good luck with that. But yeah, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a place to have, you know, central heating or something. But yeah, let's move on. Less rambling, more playing.
The chair looks inviting, but it's too early to have a rest.
It will be quite random. Sit right there, watching them. Right, let's go through door number 1. Ooh boy. Bookshelves, eh? How about that one?
Stories, adventures, and fairy tales. Dickens, Defoe, Anderson, Jules Verne. These are probably the most modern books in this library.
What about those